really similar morning to yesterday, just really humid, overcast. The wind's starting to pick up, which I'm all for spot and stalk mule deer hunting. We're gonna do the same thing. We look over this one ridge, big valley, some badlands, see if we can find any new deer. Don't find anything, we're gonna go after cut back to our kind of honey hole back here. Missed that shot yesterday on the dorky forky buck that I really wanted to shoot. So hopefully we can get a little redemption today. Jeez, pretty close to us. Right on the edge of the flat that peaks out, pretty much where we tried to shoot, where I shot my big buck last year. Right out the end of that chute that comes down. A big frame 3x3s in there. Well, they're by the stuff I like to stalk in, so maybe just see what they do, eh? Because if they can sit up in that stuff, it's a lot easier to get in there, I always feel like, depending on where they clearly saw us move up here because they're looking up in this direction, which is whatever. It'll be a while before we do anything anyway. And here comes the overcast. Literally got the glass on this group of mule deer, same group we've been looking at for the last 3 days and a couple weeks ago as well. Got the glass on them and this big fog rolls in. It's rolling through just like yesterday, but we'll sit here and wait, see if they hang up and we don't lose them in this stuff. But I would guess this stuff blows in, blows out pretty fast, at least hopefully within the next 30 minutes. It'll be sun up here in the next 2 minutes. So yesterday it took about 50 minutes for this stuff to blow out, so we'll see what happens. It doesn't look near as thick as yesterday, but it's kind of annoying when you're trying to find the mule deer and you already find them and you're trying to keep tabs on them, see where they bed and see if they're in a stockable position. Elements, dude, the elements. Swing over to this other point. We'll look into a couple of those badlands. We'll see if we can find that group of bucks that we saw before that fog rolled in. Maybe we'll get lucky on day 3. You wanna know what deer this is, dude? It's that tall 3x3 that's right over here that we're going after. So, these were his sheds 2 years ago. I'm guessing by the wire wear. And then last year, he was a little bit taller than this, and then this year he's actually kicked off a little fork on one side. Now I kind of want to kill this deer, because I got him right down here in Velvet if we can find him. That's cool, dude. Matching set, just sitting right beside each other. Finally got a clear morning. The last 2 mornings we've been fogged in so hard. We haven't been able to glass the first 2 hours of light, so same plan, looking over the same canyon, gonna backtrack if we don't see what we want. I know there's a couple bucks back here. We busted 2 bucks on the walk-in this morning. It was too dark to see what they were, but you could tell they had frames on them, so that was quite a ways back. We'll see if we can find anything down in this canyon. We'll go from there. Left now. Buck's following her, so now you'll be able to probably pick him up. No, he's still velvet. Another little buck running out to the right. That's just a little guy. No, the buck's still in there, just left of that leaf tree. You can see him, plain as day. Another buck coming out, little one. The bigger buck's still in there. He's like a 3x3. He's got forks up top and then nothing on the fronts. I actually don't know if I've seen this buck before. Now he's walking out. You should be able to see him. Walking to the left. Oh, we saw a few bucks over there this morning. 4 new bucks that we haven't seen, so. Nothing that we really felt like we wanted to go after yet, though. Move over to a different spot, see if we can find anything moving yet. Someone I missed, Dorky Forky. Big frame 3x3. Just don't move much. Forgot the buck that I missed 2 days ago right down here, and then we accidentally bumped him yesterday. 300 yards below us here, 250 yards maybe. Luckily the cow's distracting him right now. So we got in over here. We actually saw our Dorky Forky buck right down below us, like 250 yards, but they just fed away into a bad spot. But we did find the big 3x4 down here, bedded down with the old spiky buck. And we actually picked his sheds up from 2 years ago yesterday. So kind of makes it fun to maybe put a stalk on him here, see what we can do. He's bedded in some thick bushes. I think we can come around on the east side of him and swing in. We got like a west-southwest wind, so it'll work out pretty good. And I don't know how close we're gonna be able to get. It's hard to tell from here, so we're gonna have to get in closer to see, but it looks like he's in a pretty killable spot. So let's go make our move, dude. Right down over this peak in a little creek down here. It is quiet, so I don't know. We still have wind kind of right into our face. Sneak in there and see, dude. Yeah, we're gonna have to go around this way. Should be right around this bend and some thick stuff. We'll say they've been moving. 26 yards, a little buck. Hopefully that big buck follows here, dude. Stay low, stay low. He's gonna come right up by this bush. That little buck, dude, at like 52 yards. Was that big one out in the open right here? Yeah. I didn't see him. I thought.
No, he wasn't really in the open.
Could you see him?
Yeah, I thought that was the one you first saw.
I was looking at this one, and I thought the other one was gonna follow him, so I was just staying down.
I saw the right one first.
So I had a shot.
He was low. The ground's lower.
Okay, so I
only saw his antlers.
Okay, so I wouldn't have had a shot anyway. That makes me feel a little better. I thought, no, I was just waiting. Like I was just saying crouch because I got a range on him before he stuck his head up. And he was like 52. I'm like, oh, perfect, dude. Like, so I was just staying low, waiting for that other one to follow him, because the other one's just been following around all morning. I've been watching these two bucks for the last 2 hours from right up over here. And finally, they're still feeding. Like, I don't know what their deal is. So we're like, dude, let's just make a move on him. We'll drop up behind and we'll shoot up this side hill. And it worked perfectly. It really worked well. And so I was just waiting for him to follow him out. I didn't realize he was kind of cutting up here. I knew once they got over here they were going to catch our wind soon, because the wind is just like really swirling up through here. That was sweet though, dude. I mean, that stock worked. Good work. We've had great stocks. I mean, that was our last chance at a velvet mule deer right there. I mean, going back today, got to get some work done. Time we get back out here, it's going to be all hard horns. So that buck was the one that we picked up those sheds yesterday, that matching set. That was that deer 2 years ago, sheds. So it's kind of cool. Amy actually passed him with a rifle a couple times last year. Man, I thought we were gonna have a dead deer right there, dude. I mean, we were right there. That buck was, yeah, about 55 yards. I thought he was just gonna follow him. The other one, where was that other one at, Matthew? Like,
yeah, basically straight ahead where you're pointing.
Closer, even?
Oh,
or was he still down in that tall stuff?
He was still in the tall stuff.
Okay.
So I couldn't even see his head. I can only see the.
I can
only see like the top 8 inches of his.
I debated on staying back there 10 yards and shooting from like 60, 65 and waiting. But I was like, dude, if I can get 10 more yards off, it makes that shot so much easier. And it worked. We got the yardage. It just, that the bigger buck didn't follow the little one like he was doing all morning. Just got unlucky there. Dude, that was sweet though. Good work. We got some good stocks in the last 4 days. We didn't really get one in yesterday, but day 1 and day 2, we got a couple decent stocks. And day 2, we got a really good stock and missed a shot on that goofy 4-corn buck with a really good right side. We saw him this morning again too, but it just was never in a stockable spot for us. So, hey, that's all right. We almost got her done a couple times. We just have to do it hard horn now. I really wanted velvet. Such a bummer. Nice and warmed up. Little late afternoon workout. We've been archery deer hunting the last several days. And this is the kind of stuff we do even during our season to stay very conditioned, to keep our strength up to night. A very fast, just kind of conditioning routine. We're up here at a very cool spot. I spent a ton of time here when I was growing up. This was the court that when I was revamping my jump shot in early high school, I would come up here and I would stand right here by the hoop and I would just have to form shoot and get the ball to land a certain way my shooting coach had me doing, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You know, I do it 1,000 times a day, about 1,000 shots a day. And most of those shots weren't even to go in the hoop. They were to hit a certain spot on the backboard just to perfect that ball coming off my fingers, the perfect arc. And this was recently redone. I mean, it was really
crappy blacktop and dirt and gravel on here when I was growing up, and the city had redone it to look like this, and it is awesome. So we're gonna hit a workout up here, have a little fun, get the sweat, get the heart rate up, and then go back out tomorrow and hopefully find a mule deer.
All right, let's get one more weight loaded on here.
All right, so what we got tonight, fun circuit, single arm, kettlebell power snatch, 5 each arm, going right into our heavy farmer's carry, down back. We get back, we're just gonna hit a few 5 deads with that same weight, and then right into a bottoms up kettlebell press. So here we go, baby. Let's get this baby rocking.
Tight. Let's get this baby going tonight. Just working on that posterior chain strength, just like when we're packing out. We need that strength when it's heavy. All right, get some breath. Want that core tight and engaged here so don't pull anything. And then the bottoms up kettlebell press to finish. So it actually looks really simple, but it is a great one to throw in. Ton of stabilizer. The heavy weight at the top really is unstable, and it just cranks you out, really rips you apart. One more. Great for stability. You feel it in the forearms and shoulder. The left is a little weaker. I can feel that. You can see that kettlebell kind of moving side to side. And it's a great strengthener for the shoulder complex in that full range of motion. So you don't need to go too heavy. I'm only using a 25-pound kettlebell there. Grab a drink. That was round 1. I can always feel that heart rate really skyrocket in that first round, because heart rate's just elevating so fast and it has to stabilize a little bit. So you just gotta keep pushing yourself through, get into that second, third round, get into that second wind, and that's where everything kind of levels off and you can push through and make your progress. So round 2, here we go. A little unstable. Retighten up that core. I relaxed there for a second. Okay, right into the heavy farmer's carry. This is that training you need to utilize when you're in that mid-season. You're busy, don't have a lot of time, but you want to keep your strength and conditioning up. Great one to utilize right here. Just good metcons, metabolic conditioning. Using heavy weight at a fast pace. Definitely feeling it. A little dehydrated from all the hiking the last couple days. That's okay. We gotta push through. Okay.
Ooh. Hand grip. Everything's feeling it. Forearms. Let's go, Jordan. Come on. Push through, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh. And the bottoms up. Oh, presses. Here we go. Yep, go on, Jordan. Yeah. Oh man, simple, extremely effective. Oh. 2 more. Oh, full extension. Left shoulder isn't quite as mobile, so I'm always working at that. Oh, 2 rounds down. Always playing off your strengths to improve your weaknesses. I don't just sit there and work at my weaknesses all the time and forget about my strengths. I play off my strengths to keep getting better and better and utilize those strengths to strengthen my weaknesses. I just don't like the concept of focus just on your weaknesses. It doesn't make sense to me in anything in life that if I was to focus on just my weaknesses, I'm not utilizing those God-given abilities and God-given talents. God gave us all strengths. He gave us all these special talents. And in my opinion, I feel like those need to be our priorities. Those need to be the things we focus on to give to the world. They're our gifts, right? If we utilize that mindset, I always gotta get my weaknesses better. I always gotta get my weaknesses better. Our gifts and our talents and our skills don't shine. So we gotta utilize those to shine. And in turn, our weaknesses will get stronger. Let's get this last round. Last round, baby. Yeah, let's go. That gave me some good energy. Let's go. Last trip. Come on, core tight, lats tight. Come on, man. Don't let up. Use your strengths. Come on. Oh, grip. Come on. Oh, and the fact of the matter is, you see a lot of workouts with me and Austin training together. The fact of the matter is, you're not always gonna have a training partner. You're not always gonna have somebody to play off of. And you gotta have the self-awareness to challenge yourself and to hold yourself accountable. Otherwise, you're never gonna make it. Oh, yes. Bottoms up. Last set. Yes. All right. There was Metcon number 1 of the night. They last, 10 minutes. Metcon was about 10 minutes, 3 rounds. You can always add more rounds to it. For me, I'm just gonna go into a second set of 3 with new exercises, keep my mind fresh, and go into a second Metcon. Total workout, 20 minutes of really hard time. good 5 to 8 minute warm up, another 5 to 8 minute cool down. It's quick, it's effective, guys. Don't be afraid to try new things and challenge yourself. Stay fit mentally and physically, but most importantly, mentally. Another cold, windy morning. And man, we were tired getting up this morning and hiked all the way back up in here. I think this is our 10th morning up in here. And we were both just exhausted, but you get back up in here and dude, I'm pretty happy right now. Just a good reminder of like, you know, not wasting your abilities and doing things that you want to do, because I mean, we're 1.75 miles up in here and we've hiked it 10 times, or actually 12 times with the scouting this year in the last month. And dude, it's like, I'm so grateful that we have 2 working legs to get up in here. I have good working eyes to spot this buck that we have right down here below us. And dude, it's just like awesome to be able to do that, you know, and to always remind yourself on those tired mornings where you don't want to hike up in here, like, to be grateful for that stuff. So no deer except this one buck right down below us, and it's a buck that we snuck up on a few weeks ago down in this cut over here and got within like 54 yards of him and just couldn't get a shot. And so hopefully we can get a shot this morning here. We got him just kind of eating on some brush down here below us. And the only buck I'm seeing so far, we've seen a lot of deer out here this year, but it's been quiet the last 2 days. Really windy, so that could be part of it. But hopefully we can watch this buck bed up in a good spot and we get an opportunity on him and close the deal this weekend. Literally finished that interview and I was getting my phone scope hooked up just to get a little photos of this guy. And a couple of them mule deer come just sprinting up this little ravine that he's in. I have no idea where they're at now. They're up in this cut, but why? They've been like that. They did that, was it last weekend, the week before? Same thing, we had the same buck bedded up over here. We were about ready to make a move and all of a sudden he comes sprinting out of there. It's been really jumpy out here the last 2 times we've been here. I don't know, now I gotta try to locate this buck again. I mean, something's gotta be spooking them hard for them to, I mean, they were running hard in there, just looking back. I mean, I just feel like that's more than a coyote. Because we've seen coyotes just like walk by out here and they're just like, look at them, they walk within 10 yards. It's odd. I mean, they've been reacting. It could be velociraptors, dude. Like, I heard they're making a comeback. I mean, they just made a movie about it, like Jurassic World 2. That's about velociraptors. I don't think that's fictional, is it?
It's backed by science.
Backed by science. Yeah, that's the one, that's the one. These deer are just going crazy right now.
Cocoa Puffs. They're ready for corn dogs.
They're going crazy for Cocoa Puffs.
Corn dogs, Jackie, for all these people.
I want to be aggressive here because I really want to get a deer down this weekend, because our next couple weeks are filled with some rifle antelope hunting, and I would like to have just a week transition time in between that late October, early November, when we're kicking off about 6 hard weeks of some rifle tags and some muzzleloader tags and things like that. So I'd like to open up a couple weekends, but it might not happen here. We'll see. We still have tomorrow morning, and I don't want to be too aggressive and wreck our opportunities for tomorrow morning either. So it's all going to be pendant. I just penned all my mule deer stalks on where they're bedded. You know, I don't just see a deer and I'm like, yep, get after him. Like, I will literally not sneak in on him for 4 or 5 days if he doesn't bed in a good spot. Because I just don't want to bump him and move him. I like, unless they're in a killable spot, I usually stay out. So we'll see what happens. It's a good morning. I mean, besides the wind, the temperature's been great. It's been a lot lower temps. The wind has just been what's kind of a little too much. I do love some wind for stalking. It's awesome cover, but unless you find them in a good killable spot, too much wind, there's not a lot of deer movement out here. So
We started a little late. Made it up here in 31 minutes. Usually takes us 45. Fitness. Last morning out archery hunting here for a few weeks, I think.
yeah, dude, definitely group of bucks, 6 of them. I like working that same spot that the buck we killed last year, or just down that fence line.
I know my deer out here. I know them very well. They're like pretty close friends of mine. Known each other for a while.
Get a shot of that.
Well, we caught these 6 bucks earlier this morning way over here. They worked all the way up the ridge to this badland. I don't know, half-mile away. And we just got them starting to bed down on this badland shelf. So I'll probably work right around almost the same way they came. There's a little bit of wind cutting this way. It's so light. But I think we're going to be able to come up behind them over the top. It might get a little sketchy once we get over there on how rough it is to do it quietly, but we're going to be aggressive and try to make it happen this morning, so it's kind of cool. The only problem is we got 6 of them versus just 1 or 2 bedded. That always makes it a little tougher, but there's 3 bucks in there we'd shoot, so we just got to get close to one of them. There's that 3x4 in there. There's another big mainframe 3x3. That's pretty cool looking. And then there's this doofy, big giant spike buck. He's actually split this year. He's in velvet. We've seen him for 3 years in a row. So I think if we got close to him too, if there was an opportunity, we'd go ahead and let an arrow fly there too. So let's do it, dude. The last time we saw the deer, they were about 150 yards right over this crest, and behind a cedar in a badland crest. So hopefully they're still there. We'll sneak up over and try to find them. I got an arrow in the big 3x4. Had him bedded right here. There he is right there. We gotta watch him. He kind of shifted right after I shot. He was quartering away, so I slid the arrow in. I think he's good, but the arrow's far back and up into his ribs and lungs. So, I just slid it right in there, but it might be. Hopefully, I didn't catch part. I think I might have got part of his hip, but I think we're good because I slipped it in there to his lungs. So. He's in this thicket. We just gotta make sure he doesn't come out. I knew this is where they're at. I came across it. I'm like, right when I got behind there, I'm like, they're right here. I know it. Dude, hopefully he's down, man. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. I know I didn't give you time probably to get on him. It was so fast. When I came around across the corner, he went like this and looked at me, and I just drew back and put my 30 pin on him, and I knew you probably weren't on him, dude, but it's like one of our last mornings to hunt, and we just want to get a deer down, so sorry that you missed the impact, but sometimes it is what it is, and you gotta make a call and go for it, and obviously it's my call to do that, so I did it. I want you to stay here and just watch. I'm just gonna go to that peak over and glass in.
Well, we got him recovered when we came up over that badland, snuck a shot in on him at about 35 yards, and he was quartering away pretty hard, so I snuck that shot right up in, and we watched him go down into a thicket, and after about 15 or 20 minutes, we saw him kind of get up and move into the next draw and bed down, so I opted to have Matthew stay up on the badland, and I came down and snuck up on him and got the final shot on him at least here, so we got him down with that second shot. So this buck actually, Amy passed a couple times last year with her rifle, and I actually have his sheds that we picked up here a couple weeks ago from 2 years ago, and I'm pretty sure those were his probably 2.5-year-old sheds, so guessing him at about 4.5-year-old mule deer. Not crazy big by any means, but we're pretty stoked to be able to have the opportunity to get a mule deer down here this year already. So we've put in about 11 hunting days this is, and a couple scouting days before that. So we've had a lot of time out here. We know this area really well, and we absolutely love to hunt it. It's our favorite area to hunt. I love being out here. Yesterday, I was just kind of talking to Matthew how we were kind of both really tired. We hiked up all the way onto this knoll back behind us. We do a lot of scouting off of that knoll, and it's a haul in there. It's about 1.75 miles up there. And the way in gets a little long just because it's kind of gradual uphill the whole way. We were both tired yesterday. So it was just a good reminder to, be so grateful for our capabilities to be able to have two great working legs to hike up in here, to have eyes that we can spot these deer and see the scenery that God made for us. And just the ability to be able to do this when we want. We come out here quite a few days a year and feel pretty blessed to be able to hunt these animals. So we were pretty stoked. This was one of our last days. We're gonna be able to archery deer hunt until we had like 2 different weekends in last weekend of October, first weekend of November, but we really wanted to take a little time off in between there because our first 3 weeks in October are just smashed with other hunts, and then we have a really long rifle deer season here in South Dakota with a bunch of tags. So we really wanted a little time off in between there with family, and so God answered prayers and we got to make that happen. Now we gotta focus on things that are obviously really important to us, like our families being home. So great opportunity. So happy that we got this deer down, especially after a marginal shot at the beginning there. Obviously we never want that to happen, but we recovered,
made a good recovery shot and got him down. So, pretty awesome. Another great mule deer backstrap from out here, man. Phenomenal. All right, we're packed up. Both got a pack of meat, all of our gear. Got a good 2 miles after winding up and in out of here. Be fun, hot. The temperatures really jumped. It's like 75 degrees. It's supposed to be over 80 today, so we're gonna get out here, get to meet in the big frig coolers, and get home. Little pack out thoughts, volume 2. We actually did our first pack out thoughts video last year in this exact same spot with a mule deer. And it's just kind of cool how the history of things really line up. The buck that's on my back right now, my wife actually passed with her rifle a couple times last year. And then back in August, our very first pack up back in here, me and Matt and Matthew, actually, this was the first buck we spotted back up in here in Velvet. And then we saw him again, scouting again. And then opening day, I actually put a stalk in on these deer, bedded down, and he got away. We just hit a bad stalk. We saw him again multiple times. I missed another buck that we were really after out here. And then me and Matthew found him again a couple weekends after that. And we put a nice stalk on this deer and got within like 52 yards, 55 yards, and just couldn't get a shot on him. He got away again with another buck. And then I actually picked up his sheds that weekend as well. And the 2-year-old sheds, I'm pretty sure there was 2.5-year-old sheds. Then my wife passed him last year, so I think he's 4.5 now. And then we found him this morning bedded up in a really good spot to put a stalk on. And we snuck in there, me and Matthew did, and put the deer down. And so it's just kind of cool how the history of things really go like that. You can build this history with an animal like that, and it just makes it pretty special. But there's just so many other things in life, if you stop and think about it, that really happen that way. And you know how you can't see it as you're going into it, but it's like if you trust the process and love the journey and just know that God has a plan for you, and that plan is gonna happen if you have faith and stick to it. And that when you stop and look back, it's funny because all the dots connect, and it's never a straight line. It's always here, 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 and it takes you in a crazy path. But it's sometimes really easy to stop and think and look back and see how that divine path was laid out and how all the dots connect. But it's very difficult at times to see that going forward. And that's where just all that faith comes in, and all that trust comes in, that you have to trust in your path and your journey and believe that it can happen, and that you have to believe in yourself and in your dreams and your goals and what you want to accomplish, especially if you just know and you feel it in your heart that that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And understanding and having that self-awareness to know that, hey, it's going to be hard, it's going to be a long, drawn-out journey most of the time, but that's where the trust comes in. And you just have to keep pushing through and believe in that journey and believe in yourself, because if you're not believing in what you're trying to do, nobody else will.